Hey guys, Kaz here, and today I'm doing the Get Graphic With It tag and TBR. I'm doing a little wrap up of both into one video. So let's start with the tag. Actually, let's start with some information. That makes more sense. Get Graphic With It runs from the 15th to 21st of this month. I have a massive TBR, but I can't say no. I just can't say no. So yeah, I'm doing that. So if you want to join in, there are the dates. I'll leave information down below. All the hosts and the questions for the tag and the challenges for the readathon. So let's get into the tag. Question 1 is, how many years have you done Get Graphic With It? It's been going for 3 years, and I do believe I've done all 3. Well, not yet, because this is the 3rd year, but I do believe I will be doing all 3. Like I said, I just can't say no. Question 2 is the first graphic novel / manga you ever read. So I'm not 100% sure. I thought I was sure, and then I remember ages ago looking at my Goodreads, and then I wasn't sure. But it's either Nimona or this volume of Deadpool. One of these was the first. I feel like it was Nimona, but then I'm pretty sure on Goodreads it said I read this first, so who knows. This one is just a big old collection of Deadpool, a bunch of the different sort of runs and stories in here. And this one is about a girl who is an apprentice to the evil bad guy, and she's a shapeshifter, and it's a fun time. I distinctly remember this being my potential first because I wasn't used to actually looking at pictures when I read this, and I was just reading all the words and going really fast, and then remembered that I'd not actually looked at any of the pictures, so stop and actually look at the pictures as well, because that's half the story. Question 3 is, what is your favourite art style? So I like a more modern, bright, bold colours. The old school sort of style is less bright and less bold, but for example Chew, very bright, bold, good, my style. And also Gotham Academy, I'm pretty sure I gave this 3 stars. The story was 3 stars, but the art in here is what made me really want to read it, and definitely read the other volumes because it just looks so nice. So there is that. Look how pretty it is. So yeah, bright, bold, colourful, good times. Question 4 is, what is your most recent graphic novel / manga read? I'm going to do both of them because hey, why not? My most recent in the graphic novel side of things is Scooby Apocalypse Volume 1. I read this at the beginning of the year. I read this at the beginning of the month for the Join the 6 Readathon, and yeah, it's like Scooby-Doo, but then evil monster things are real. And the characters are very stylised in a really cool way. There's Scooby and Shaggy, look. And then my most recent manga is 7 Days, which I read in September. This is the full, all of the story in here, so it's quite a little chunker. But it's kind of just your normal everyday manga style. Question 5 is your most anticipated read that either is out and you haven't read, or is coming out that you haven't read because it's not out yet. And for me, one that is out that I really want to read is Fence Volume 4. I don't own it yet, but I really enjoyed the other 3. Another comic series that has really, really pretty art. And one that hasn't come out, and I have pre-ordered, it comes out in January, is Chew. No, not that Chew, this Chew. This is a sequel, but also it's a prequel to the Chew that I know and love, following Tony Chew's sisters. So I didn't know that existed until very recently, and as soon as I found out, pre-ordered it, boom. It doesn't have Rob Guillory doing the art for this one, but the style is quite similar. The new artist is, they tried not to make it too completely different to proper normal Chew, so looking forward to giving that one a go. It's still John Layman, so I'm sure it's going to be great. And with that one, rather than it being somebody on the police side, which in Chew, Tony Chew works for the government, this one, his sister's a little bloody criminal, so it's going to be fun to see stuff from that side of things. Question 6 is, recommend the best graphic novel / manga to start with. This one's kind of hard because, like, it's not a genre. It's a type of book, like a novel or a poetry thing, but there's like every sort of genre, every sort of type of book, story, thing, but I feel like Heartstopper is a really easy place to jump into if you like contemporary. If you don't, probably don't start here because you won't enjoy it, and then you'll think graphic novels are not for you. But This one, super cute, super easy to read. It's online as well, so you don't even have to like look at your library or put money into deciding whether you're gonna like it or not. You can just read it online for free and then you'll know. So yeah, super cute. It's really easy art style to read. And it's just about two boys falling in love and school and stuff, and there's a dog that's really cute. So yeah. Question 7 is a graphic novel slash manga that pushed you out of your comfort zone. This was a really hard one for me because from what I just said then, for me personally, I do read all different types and genres and stories in graphic novels and manga form, but I figure the best answer for this would be Death Note, because it's the first manga that I ever read, and it pushed me out of my comfort zone because I had to learn how to read it, because you read it back to front and right to left. So in that sense, it pushed me out of my comfort zone and taught me how to read manga. So yeah, Death Note. Question 8 is a graphic novel slash manga that you want more of. So I've decided to go with Young Avengers because there have been 2 runs of this. There was one in like 2003, 2004 I think, and then this run of 3 volumes came out a few years ago, but then since then they've kind of moved some of the characters from here into the actual Avengers, the new Avengers and stuff like that. But I just really like the dynamic of Young Avengers, and it's really diverse as well. And I think people need to have that sort of series to be able to see themselves in. In this run, the second run, well, in the first run you've got a canon gay couple, and that was like the first canon gay couple in sort of Marvel history. And in here, they're still in there. You've got a girl who's a lesbian, you've got a boy who's bisexual. The lesbian girl is also a woman of colour, she's black. So there's just all of these different sort of diverse people in here that it's really good to see, and for people that actually fit into those sort of categories can see themselves being a superhero, because most of them are just white guys or white women's. So, and also it's just a really fun time, and young Loki is in here and he's just a troll, so that too. Again, just really my style of art as well. We're about halfway through, so let's get kitty with it. Here's a message from our sponsors.
Of someone that was being falsely accused of something they didn't do.
Question 9 is one graphic novel slash manga that you're looking forward to reading for the Get Graphic With It readathon. I'm going to bypass that question because I'm going to do my TBR after the last question. So question 10, the last question, is not really a question. It is recommend a challenge for next year's Get Graphic With It readathon. So thinking back to a few things that I've mentioned already in this tag, I would say perhaps read a graphic novel online, because like I said, a lot of people can't get their hands on graphic novels because either the library won't have them, because a lot of libraries don't have a really big selection of graphic novels or manga, or they're too expensive to buy, or they're not sure if they'd want to spend that money on them because they don't know if they're going to enjoy them. So I feel like read an online comic is a good sort of middle ground for people to try and figure out if they would like it. There are so many free online comics that are great, so maybe that. Also maybe, like I mentioned in the last question I talked about, some sort of question about a diverse read. There is read a translated work, which is fair enough and definitely works in the manga section because pretty much most manga is translated, so that's really easy. But I've read graphic novels with all different LGBTQIA+ rep. I've read it with different race, religion, disability. So all of those things exist in graphic novels. So maybe a question or a challenge to do with something like that. Read a graphic novel with some sort of marginalised character, perhaps. Or maybe in this round of Get Graphic With It, there's a question that sort of doubles up, that is read your shortest or read your longest or read both. Maybe in another round there could be read a superhero based one, read a non-superhero based one, or read both. Maybe that. Obviously a lot of comics and graphic novels are Marvel, DC, so perhaps, who knows. So now let's get into my TBR. There are 10 challenges for the Get Graphic With It readathon. Some of them are not specifically to do with the graphic novel, so I'll mention them at the end. So I'm just going to go through these and yeah, say what they're for. So first of all, Demon Diary. This is a manga about a demon lord, and then he's just not very angry, so he's got somebody that's trying to teach him how to be an aggressive demon lord. So for this one, I'm doing this for read a translated work and read a book that makes you smile, or is a comfort read. It's not a comfort read, but it does make me smile because the dynamics between the two, it's like a really angry, aggressive, proper demon that would kill people, and then he's trying to teach this young lad who's the Lord and just isn't any of them things. So it is something that makes me smile and it's a bit of fun. And here's the artwork. Next we have Scooby Apocalypse 2. This, like I mentioned earlier, is all the characters of Scooby-Doo, but then some sort of virus has been released and loads of people have turned into real monsters, so they're trying to figure out what the crap is going on. Also, they're all like separate at the beginning, so they weren't a crew already, they sort of joined together, and then they have the same sort of personalities as the Scooby-Doo, but then they all come together and there's real monsters and it's a fun time. For this one I'm doing it for read a book with your favourite colour on the cover. I knew I wanted to read this one because I already said I was going to read this month, so I kind of had to just place it somewhere. My favourite colour is grey and these legs kind of look grey, so it counts. The artwork is presented to you here. I also have Misfit City Volume 1. I don't really know much about this. I've just heard that it's like a Goonies-esque book with a bunch of girls instead of a group of boys. I'm guessing they're looking for something on a map. Who knows? Me soon when I read it. And this is for the challenge Read a New to You author. I'm pretty sure I haven't read anything from any of these people, so it counts. And here is the artwork in here. And then last but not least, I have Preacher Volume 6. This one I'm reading for Read a Hyped / recommended book, and I'm doing this as hyped by me because I really enjoy Preacher and I want to carry it on, so I'm hyping it for myself. This is about a guy who gets this thing in him and then he can tell people to do anything and then they do it, and then there's an Irish vampire and crazy religious stuff and dying and explosions and all that sort of fun. And here is the art style. This is sort of that slightly older art style that I mentioned earlier as not being my fave, but I still enjoy it, obviously, if the story is good, like Preacher. I've not picked something for the longest or the shortest on my TBR. First of all, because I'm not reading the longest because it's over 1,000 pages and no. And then with the shortest, I don't know, I'd have to go through every single graphic novel and like look at the page count, so I was just like, I don't have anything specific for that, so I just won't do that one. I'm also not going to do the read 10 graphic novels because I have a big TBR this month. I'm not going to do that. And then the other ones I can just sprinkle in throughout is read with a cozy item like your cat or a drink or whatever. Read when it's dark outside. Again, I can read any of them for that. And read a book in one sitting, which I'm sure I will. So there we go, that is my TBR. That is the tag. I'm not going to tag anyone to do it because I don't know who's joining in with Get Graphic With It. If you are, then do it because it's a fun time. Let me know down below if you read graphic novels, if you've read any that I mentioned, let me know. And if this is your first video by me and you enjoy it, then please check out some of the others. And if you continue to enjoy it, then please subscribe, that'd be awesome. Anyway guys, I'll see you in a few days with another video. Bye.
I never dreamed.
Timmy.